By now, unless you've been living under a rock or don't watch YouTube that often, you've heard the story about Brother Polight, a real famous YouTuber. Tasha K broke the story first, then the news broke the story. Now here's why I'm not surprised, and you shouldn't be surprised. This been going on. Things like this been going on. Y'all trying to act like this rarely happens in the black community. When it does, it happens all the time. Regardless of what spirituality group is in. Things like this happens in the Christianity group. It happens in the Muslim group. It happens in all different groups. You have leaders in all these groups. Not all, some. You have some of the leaders who are in these groups who do the same thing. And I see a rerun of this. When they get called out about it, the first thing the followers do is, instead of looking at it's a possibility that that person did it, they bash the victims. They bash everybody except for the person who got accused of doing this. Another thing I notice is, as much as we try to say is it be the men who be taking up for these men, these leaders that's in these high positions, it be just as many women taking up for these men as the men. Y'all be acting as if these leaders are God and they can never do no wrong. And that's where we mess up at. Because just because people are leaders and helping people, that doesn't mean you don't know what they do in their personal lives. You don't know what type of fetish, what type of desires they have behind closed doors. So we need to stop assuming that things like this don't happen when it happens to people who aren't even in these type of positions. It happens to the average Joe or Jane. You know, we need to stop idolizing people and putting these people up on a pedestal as if they can do no wrong. Another thing we don't know is what their motives are behind a lot of stuff that they do. A lot of these leaders who are in these groups, whether it's Christianity, Muslims, and the conscious community, all of them. A lot of these leaders, their motivation, their motives, their motivation is, well, the money is the motivation. That's for one. Hence the reason why a lot of them became leaders in the first place. It wasn't because they wanted to lead people and help people genuinely out of the kindness of their heart. They do it for the bag. The pretty houses, the pretty cars, the pretty clothing, the attention, the private jets, or so forth. These are the motivations behind why some of them become leaders in the first place. They probably help people, but they do it for the money also. And we don't know. And what is money? What is money? Isn't money, for the love of money is the root of all evil? Just because these people can speak to you and make you feel good doesn't mean they don't have their own agenda behind what they do. I don't care what spiritual group they're in. They can be in the conscious community. They can be in any other religious community. The same thing still applies. What we should stop doing is repeating the same things over and over and over again, just to be disappointed. Stop looking up to these people. Expect the worst, even when you don't see it, because you don't know. Always expect the worst. Even if you don't, I don't care if you don't know, because you don't know what these leaders be doing behind closed doors. And women, especially to my black women, we got to stop choosing men over our kids. We got to stop doing that. You know, we got to. It's some daddies you can't even trust with the kids. let alone a man who not their kid. Now, I'm not saying all men do, all men do this. Some don't. You got some good men that respect your kids and stuff, but it's some predators out there. And this is not me bashing the woman of the daughter that this happened to, because from the story that Tasha K told, she takes her daughter everywhere with her. She didn't know that the dude was gonna take her, where he took her. So this not me bashing her. The only thing she did wrong, I feel like, was maybe she should have just went down there, with a child. Even though she didn't feel like it, or told the child, well, look, we're going to go later. But hey, she made a mistake. Parents make mistakes all the time. Like one time, something bad happened to me when I was 2 years old. And, my mom was at work. My dad was the one keeping me. And he just so happened to leave a 11-year-old to watch me while he went up in the house to do whatever he had to do. And I wound up getting hurt and had to go to the hospital or whatever. So y'all got to stop acting like parents are so perfect. Parents make mistakes just like kids make mistakes. Neither one of them are perfect. And another thing y'all doing is pretending like she just threw the kid off on him or something. Or she wasn't dating him for a whole year. It wasn't like she was just started to date him. She had been dating him for a whole year. So maybe she thought she could trust him. And unfortunately, that was the mistake she made. But please believe, if he's a pedophile, eventually that probably was going to happen. Eventually, think about this. He could have put drugs in the mom's drink. And when she fell asleep, tried something with the daughter. Y'all not thinking. This probably was bound to happen anyway. But just like I said before, I'm not surprised. Y'all shouldn't be surprised either. Things like this happens everywhere, regardless of what spiritual group you are a part of. You have leaders in those groups that y'all done aired up like they're gods and put them on a pedestal and gave them this power to be able to do things like this. Then have a nerve to be shocked about it. There's no need to be shocked about it now. Stop putting these people on pedestals and treating them like they're gods. I painted this Friday morning. As you can see, it's branches going up towards the sky where the moon is at. I just wanted to do something that I had never done before. I don't remember doing a painting like this. But anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this Polight situation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share down below.